New York.
Michael K. is on the radio today, and he ain't afraid to say what he's thinking. It's the Michael K. Show on 880 ESPN Radio.
And good afternoon, everybody. This is indeed the Michael K. Show. We thank you for joining us on this Monday. It is November 3rd, 2025. Me and you for two. Those are the rules of engagement. The fastest 2 hours in sports talk radio. I'm glad that you could be a part of it on this Monday. I'm going to start off with the New York Giants as they lost to the 49ers 34-24. And to be honest with you, it wasn't that close. I know the final score says a 10-point spread. It wasn't that close. The Giants could not stop the running game of the 49ers, which is a running game that's not rated that highly. Now, they do have a great running back in Christian McCaffrey, who had a big-time game, but the 49ers offense systematic in their destruction of the Giants. Now, I know the Giants are hurt, especially in the back four, but the front seven, not so hurt that they can't be able to stop a running game, and they could not. And they couldn't stop Mac Jones. It was a total breakdown on everything except for the quarterback. Jackson Dart is the only thing to feel good about. The offense is unimaginative. The wide receivers and the tight ends drop passes that are perfectly thrown. Slayton, I mean, you can't have a better pass than the one that Dart had in the fourth quarter, and Slayton just dropped it. In the end zone, dropped it. You have to make that catch. Theo Johnson dropped the ball. They have no running game without Scadaboo. They've given up on Tracy. They played Singletary. Nothing went right. The defense was awful. The offense was unimaginative. I was at the game yesterday, and just watching them, it's like watching paint dry. The only reason that you would pay for the price of admission is the quarterback. The quarterback is really, really good. Is he going to be a superstar? I have no idea. I'm not clairvoyant. He certainly looks like he has the skills to be a keeper, to build around. But are you going to break this guy down with all the losing? Is that what you're going to do? You could see there was bad body language at the end. He was distraught. And if you watch the post-game interview, he was befuddled and distraught. But one thing jumped out at me, and I wonder if you guys felt the same thing. Brian Daboll said during his post-game press conference, he said, Jackson Dart is the leader of our football team. Really? At 22 years old? Then you got a problem. As good as Jackson Dart is, he should not be the leader of your football team. You've got established veterans on the defensive side of the ball. Brian Burns, you want to say that he is the leader of your football team? Well, we can go with that. Jackson Dart's the leader of your football team at 22 years old. Now, as well as he's played, he is just 2-4, and the team is 2-7. Talk about putting a load on a guy. He's the leader of the football team? Then your football team is not good. If you're asking a 22-year-old rookie to be the leader of your football team, you've put together a bad football team. And that's on Shane, and that's on Daboll. Can't have a young guy being the leader of your football team. It's not fair to him. It's not fair to him. I don't think Daboll is saving his job. At 2-7, he's not saving his job the way they're playing. Now, you can play all the mathematics that you want. Well, there's 8 games left. If they win all 8, they'll be 10-7. Yeah, if my aunt had hair on her back, she'd be my uncle. They're not winning 8 in a row. And since the fourth quarter against the Broncos, they've played horribly. When you consider how close they came to being 3-4, and now where they are. It all got away that fourth quarter in Denver. And I know there are injuries. I get it. But the 49ers have injuries too. No Bosa, no Warner. And still they stopped the Giants cold. What is there to feel good about right now? Can they beat the Bears this weekend? Yeah, they could. I guess they could beat anybody. And they could lose to anybody too, as they proved when they lost to New Orleans. Giants are 2-7. We keep talking about how bad the Jets are. The Giants are 2-7. The only thing that differentiates them from the Jets is that they have a quarterback and the Jets don't. But you tell me, if you're a Giant fan, if you're a football fan and you watch that game, is there anything that you hang your hat on and go, yeah, that's good, except for Dart? Dart moves around the pocket. He has an innate sense of where the rush is coming from. He slides around the pocket beautifully to avoid oncoming rushers. Throws a nice football. So, yeah, that's the most important thing that you need when you're building a team. But we're in year 4 of the Shane and Daboll era, and this is as far as you've gone, where a 22-year-old quarterback is the leader of your football team. Well, then you put together a crap football team. And to show you that it's getting serious and it's something that John Mara, we know John Mara is going to take into account. I was at the game yesterday. And I was surrounded. I guess I had seats in the lower deck at about the 10-yard line to the right of the Giant bench, maybe 20-yard line, and surrounded, not interspersed, surrounded by 49er fans. Giants have given up on their season. Giant fans have given up on their season. They sold. I don't blame them, by the way. I am not at all criticizing them, because you might as well make back your money, because all you're doing is spending good money after bad. So they sold their tickets to 49er fans. I could not believe, I can't believe that there are that many 49er fans in the New York, New Jersey area. So it had to be people that came for a nice weekend in New York. They came from the West Coast. It was deafening, the defense chants for the 49ers. Screaming for Mac Jones when the 49ers had the ball. Now, Mac Jones has done a nice job filling in for Brock Purdy, but do you realize that in the first half, he was 14 for 14? They couldn't stop him. They couldn't stop him. Again, I know 3/4 of their secondary hurt. I get it. People going down, I understand. But the front part of the defense is not that injured. It's shameful watching that. And then the silliness of a plane flying overhead. Things have to change, Mr. Mara, whatever the case may be. You just wasted your money. You don't think that John Mara looks out into the stands of MetLife Stadium and sees all red and gold, and he doesn't realize that a change has to come, and you wasted your money on flying a plane overhead? Good for you. I guess you have a lot of disposable income. All that does is get an attention of newspaper writers, and they write a small story about it or a picture of it. Who cares? You think John Mara cares that you rented that plane? It's another story for another day. I guess as a Giant fan, you're disgusted, and you should be. There was nothing good about yesterday except for Jackson Dart. I don't get it. I don't get how they could be that bad after being so good, after beating the Eagles, after just completely overrunning the Broncos for 3/4, and then the bottom falls out. Well, I guess some of it has to be on the coaching. You wonder how long you're going to have a job if you're Shane Bowen, or if you're Kafka too. Again, where's the imagination in the offense? Little short passes, that's all they threw, little short passes, until things got desperate and they got down by 17 points. Then they started to air it out a little bit. But I was there again watching, and all they're doing, dinking and dunking and handing the ball off and getting no gains. They scored on their first possession, and after that, they were lost. I know Robert Saleh is a really good defensive coordinator, but he took everything away. And again, we're telling you that Dart's the real deal. And you don't let him open it up a little bit? I know Malik Neighbors is injured. I get it. I get that Scatterbo is injured. You're supposed to play through that. Are you telling me that the second level of Giant talent is that terrible? The 49ers have had 2 potential Hall of Famers go down for the season, and their defense has not blinked, and they have 6 wins. You know why? Because overall, the structure of the team is strong. And they've built something that can last. So you're telling me the Giants didn't have a great secondary anyway. They didn't have a great secondary. They lose 3 of the 4 guys, and now they're completely inept. So the backups from the Giants are just that bad. Well, what have you done for 4 years, Joe Shane? What have you done? Where have you collected the talent? Where is it? I'm not calling for anybody to be fired, but I'm telling you, the way they're playing, Brian Daboll's going to get fired. I'm not sure about Shane, but Brian Daboll's going to be fired. So everybody talks about, well, you keep Daboll around because, he's going to continue to progress with the quarterback. And that was my big concern, bringing these two guys back and letting them draft a quarterback in the first round, because you figure, well, you don't want to waste a pick on a quarterback, bringing a new coach who's not going to be in love with the quarterback, and then they're going to draft another quarterback. So you wasted the move up into the first round to pick Dart, and then the 25th pick where you pick Dart. But now when you watch Dart play, any quarterback or any coach is going to want to coach this guy. Just like Mike Vrabel was all in on coaching Drake May. All in. So I don't think that by changing coaches, you're going to go slow the progress of Jackson Dart down. I think that his determination and his skill set is good enough that he can survive a coaching change. Because right now, the offense is terrible. The offense is not imaginative. It's terrible. And Brian Daboll, that's supposed to be his strength. And I know they took a big blow when they lost Neighbors. I get it. But still, after they lost Neighbors, they played well. And now they've completely collapsed. They've lost it. They've lost any semblance of continuity, any semblance of kind of culture. I mean, after that fourth quarter against Denver, they lay an egg against Philadelphia, and then they lay an egg against the 49ers. Again, the 49ers come from the West Coast. They've got their share of injuries. They've got a backup quarterback playing, and still, they really slapped you around. But the thing that Mara's going to take the most notice of is that his stadium was overrun by 49er fans. Overrun. Now, how do you explain it? I'll tell you how to explain it. His fan base has given up. I don't blame him. Wrote down these numbers. Giants are 2-7. They have been 2-7 6 times in the last 9 years. 2-7 6 times in the last 9 years. 1-8 in one other year, 3-6 in another year, and then the 1 year when Brian Daboll took over, they had a good start. But if you're a fan base, 9 games in, your season's over. You're 2-7 6 of the past 9 years. I mean, just by accident, you'd run into a coach that's good. By accident. And I've always been a Brian Daboll fan. But watching that game yesterday and seeing it in person, you could see there's nothing there. They look like a shot team. Like they left their heart in Denver. That fourth quarter is going to resonate, man. That's going to end up costing Daboll his job. That fourth quarter. The defense that was called by Bowen, or the lack thereof. Thank goodness they have a quarterback. Because that is going to, despite the dumpster fire that is Giant football, that will attract a legitimate coach that will want the opportunity to coach this guy. Not turning him into Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, but he's got something. The Giants hit on that. And maybe that does save Daboll or Shane his job. I don't know if it saves Daboll. I'm not sure it saves Daboll. But there's a lot of good offensive minds out there that would jump at the chance. First of all, anybody would jump at a chance at a head coaching job, no matter how toxic the situation is. There's only 32 of them. You get offered one, you take it, no matter how bad the situation is. And you hope that you could turn it around. So the one thing I think that Brian Daboll thought was going to save his job, I don't think it saves his job because the kid is so good that anybody's going to want to coach him. A new coach is not going to come in and go, I want my own guy. A new GM's not going to come in and go, I want my own guy. That's one problem solved, and that's the biggest problem. But everything else, how could it be that the depth on this team is so pathetic that when people get hurt, they turn into one of the worst teams in football? Nobody expected the Giants to be a playoff team this year. Not with that schedule. Not with the eventual ascension for a rookie into the starting quarterback role, which was quicker than we all thought. But the bottom line is you got to be better than 2-7, and they had a chance to be better than 2-7. You should have beaten New Orleans. You should have beaten the Broncos. How different is the season if you're 4-5 right now? But you're not. And you should have beaten the Cowboys. You could be 5-4. There's coulda, shoulda, whatever the case may be. But this is hard to watch. This is hard to watch. Jones, 14-14 in the first half, overall 19 for 24. A passer rating of 135.2. McCaffrey, 28 carries, 106 yards, 5 catches, 67 yards. They had 5 trips into the red zone, the 49ers. 4 touchdowns and a field goal. Giants couldn't stop them. Denver led 17-7 at the half. A great play by Burns, setting up an interception by Carter, and they could not get it done. They could not get it done. They couldn't do anything. It's amazing. Gano, who never misses a field goal, missed a field goal at the end of the half, and that crushed the team. You could tell. Brian Burns went down to his knees. Jackson Dart dropped his head. Could have been 17-10. A lot of people are arguing about in the third quarter they're down by a couple of scores. Why'd he go for a field goal instead of it was 4th and 4. Their offense can't do anything. You want them to go for a field goal and get nothing out of being down there? It's funny. I was actually arguing with my son about it. He said, I can't believe they're going for a field goal here. I said, you have to. You have to come away with something. And they did get the field goal. They weren't going to win this game. I don't even think it's an arguable point. The team can't get 4 yards on a carry. If it was 4th and 1, you got an argument. A 4th and 2, maybe. 4th and 4, 4 yards to the goal line? No. You got to kick the field goal there. You're going to have to get the ball in the end zone at some point. 1-800-919-3776. Let's go to John in Boston. John, what's up?
Hey, Michael. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. I kind of disagree with your point about going for the 4th and 4. I think at this point, kind of, Brian Daboll's in the hot seat. He's probably gone.
Right.
And you got to see what you got with a young guy there. I just think, you might as well just see what you got and go for that 4th and 4. Maybe Jack Star makes a play, helps his confidence. So, yeah, I just think you got to go for it there. You're kind of conceding the game at that point.
No, I don't think you're conceding. I think he's worried about his job, too. If you get nothing out of it, at least you get a point. You get 3 points there, which is what they did. Okay, let me ask you, John, if they score a touchdown there, are they winning the game?
Not necessarily, but at least it gives you some sort of momentum to be happy about. It's still a 2-score game. You kick the field goal.
But under your listen, you have a legitimate point, as my son did too. But you're saying they should just give up. The season's over. So he's saying if we can win this game, we're 3-6 instead of 2-7. It doesn't seem like a lot, but the NFC is not anything great. So I think he's not giving up yet. You're saying, coaches, if you've given up. I don't think he wants to give up yet.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like it was emblematic of some sort of concession. I can see where you're coming from, but, as a fan, maybe also selfishly, you want to see them go for it and get a touchdown. But
gotcha. Definitely understand.
I think at this point we just gotta kind of almost blow it up and move on. But, I hope we can turn this around next year.
Well, I mean, that's the hope. But I think the biggest problem, even more so than the coaching, they're bereft of talent at a lot of places. They're bereft of talent. When you have such a drop-off from the starters to the backups, then you don't have enough talent on your 53-man roster. You just don't. You can't have that much of a drop-off. If the 49ers could lose Warner and Bosa and their defense could still be a stout defense, then you don't have a kick coming. Because the 49ers are a good organization, and they put talent on the roster, and they can absorb some injuries. Are they going to win a Super Bowl without Bosa and Warner? Probably not. But they have absorbed the loss of their quarterback, a guy they gave big money to. He gets hurt, and boom, Mac Jones, who was a failure in New England, he steps up and does a really good job, and they have 6 wins. Let's go to Dave in Westchester. Dave.
Hey, how you doing, Mike? I'm a really big Giant fan. I'm a Yankee fan also. I just so much more realistic than everybody else. I mean, I don't really care about 6 wins to 3 wins to 2 wins. Everybody knew before the season started. Everybody knew this. They had a hard schedule. They weren't going to do anything. Even if Scatterbo didn't get hurt, even if Neighbors didn't get hurt, they're not making the playoffs, not winning the Super Bowl. I'm hoping for next year that Daboll's not there. Okay, and I really think if they get a couple good draft picks and Daboll's gone, we have the right guy now. We have the quarterback. He's a definite, guaranteed, very, very good quarterback. We have what we're looking for. Do you think I really care if they won yesterday by 1 point and now they have 3 wins? Big deal. I'd rather have them have 2 wins so they can get a better pick. They're not going anywhere.
Should they be getting embarrassed? Should they be getting embarrassed?
The Giants are not expected to win the Super Bowl every year. The Yankees are expected every year to win the World Series. This is not the Yankees. We have to wait a couple of years before they get there.
Do you expect them to go 2-15, Dave? Are you okay with that? That they made no
progress
whatsoever?
Yes, I'm fine with that because I know this year was going to be a wait.
But shouldn't you have
if they win 6 games, are you happy? I don't know if you're a Giant fan, but are you happy?
Yeah, I am a Giant fan. But let me ask you this, Dave. Don't you think that when they should have beaten Dallas, they definitely should have beaten the Broncos, and they should have beaten New Orleans? Don't you think you should recalibrate that they should be this bad?
They shouldn't be this bad. You're right, but I think it's a coaching thing. And if they get rid of Daboll, bring somebody else in, I think you're absolutely right. I think this quarterback can adjust to any coach would like to coach him. If they keep Daboll
that's
around,
the thing that worries me, that a lot of people, and maybe Mara and Tish, are going to think like you, Dave, that it's just a coaching thing. And believe me, Brian Daboll has not distinguished himself as Vince Lombardi. I will give you that. But I think it's a talent issue. They don't have enough talent. They do not have enough talent. So that's a Shane issue, too. They take Neighbors. Evan Neal was a wasted pick. The only reason he was active yesterday because there were so many people hurt that they didn't have to deactivate him. Evan Neal's a big miss. So you can look at this show. Well, they got Scatterbo out of the draft. They got Carter. They got Dart. Good. Yeah. You still have a roster that's bereft of talent. That's not good. Joe and Brick. Joe.
Hey, what's up, Mike? How are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Listen, you hit the nail on the head today. Give me a second. But every position that the Giants have, if you go through it, it's starter, no depth. We hit on Neighbors in the draft. We have no depth at receiver. We still have Wandell, and we still have Slayton. The building of the entire roster, it stinks. If Andrew Thomas misses a game, we get killed. If he plays, our line's pretty good. And I wanted to like Daboll. I thought he was a great football guy, hire. Almost everything he does, he makes himself look bad. And I think they both, Shane and Daboll, have to go because how long do you give these guys? That last caller was wrong. We should have won a couple games this year that we weren't expected to, and that's the NFL. If you get a difference maker, you can win games. And because we lack depth around the whole roster, it's brutal, and it's the same thing every year. And you're right, 2-6 for however many years in a row, it can't be what you live by.
And that seems to be acceptable. So for a guy like Dave in Westchester, I don't care about the wins and losses. At some point, you have to. This is the 4th year of this administration. The 4th year. And they're 2-7 again. It's unacceptable. And it's unacceptable to have this much of a lack of talent. It's unacceptable. After 4 years, you've had 4 drafts to restock this team. And you can't say the team was bereft of talent when they took over because you got into the playoffs with that team. So you're turning everything over. You let go of Barkley. You let go of Jones, which I definitely agreed with because I don't think he was going to win here. So this is your team now. 4 years of 4 drafts. This is your team. And there's no talent beyond the talent at the surface. So you got some nice glitzy little cars, but underneath the engine, you got nothing. Nothing. Anybody gets injured on that top layer, you got nothing. How is that explainable after 4 years of drafting? How's it explainable? I could see if the cupboard was completely empty, right? Completely empty when they took over. But it's not because of the fact that you went to the playoffs and won a playoff game that first year. So it's not completely empty. But you wanted to redo it in your own image, and that's fine. That's what a GM and a coach should do. You haven't done a good job. There have been too many misses. There's not enough talent. Not enough talent. You got rid of Wink Martindale. The defense looks awful. Awful. The owner said you shouldn't call plays. Now the plays that are called are awful. I mean, what a mess. There's no way to explain this to feel good about it. It's awful. You all watched that game. If you're listening to this show, you probably watched the game. You're a sports fan. You watched the game. It was unwatchable. It was unwatchable. An offense that does nothing, and on top of that offense that does nothing with a good quarterback. I thought he was going to struggle like Eli did in the first year, and that was going to set back his growth. No. He makes Eli look lost in the first year. Compared to Jackson Dart, Eli was nothing in those first 6-7 games. Jackson Dart looks actually refined, and the thing that might actually set him back is the utter incompetence that surrounds him. Not his incompetence, because he's not incompetent. He's really good. And you're wasting his talent. And he's going to get hurt, too. Because the guy doesn't have quit in him, and he's going to get hit too much, and he tried to run for a touchdown and scored one, and he looked like he really hurt his left shoulder. But he said he was okay after the game. You got to be worried about that, too. Because when you have a bad team surrounding a good quarterback, look at the Washington Commanders. The Jayden Daniels, they kept in a blowout against Seattle, and he completely destroyed his left elbow. That's what happened. So the best thing about your team, if you don't surround that best thing with good people, they're going to get hurt. And then you're going to destroy that best thing. And that's what Washington's looking at right now. You want the Giants to destroy Jackson Dart because there's nothing around him? Not good. FanDuel Sportsbook app is your home for all your favorite NFL bets. From yards to touchdowns to who will win. With FanDuel, any play can be the play of the game. Tonight, FanDuel is giving all customers a 30% PBT. That's right, you can get in on the action with a 30% PBT tonight during the Cowboys-Cardinals game. So make FanDuel your go-to app for any snap. Just visit FanDuel.com/K to bet on the game. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. 21 plus and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Monday with Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. Can Brian Daboll's job be saved if the Giants don't win games?
Do you think that Brian Daboll, is this the right guy to take this kid to where we need to get him and the team around him? Because right now it doesn't feel like it.
The answer is unequivocally no. Do you know, the Giants are 5-21 now in their last 26 games.
All right, well, there you go.
And are the Knicks back on track? Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg today at 3 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Every aspect of your business will operate better and faster with artificial intelligence. AI is a race, and companies that act first will win. Thrive Managed AI is your advantage over all your competitors. Thrive partners with you on a smart, secure AI strategy for your business. Then they deploy and manage it for you. Be first and win the race with Thrive Managed AI. Start with a complimentary strategy consultation at thrivenextgen.com/ESPN. That's thrivenextgen.com/ESPN.
Okay, girls, ready to go?
Yeah! Mom, I'm hungry. Can I have a snack? Me too, Mommy.
You want a snack?
Yeah!
Got it?
Children learn from our behaviors.
Mommy, can you open this,
All right, hold on 1 second. Okay. Okay, here.
Thank you.
They learn what is okay from the adults they see.
Mommy, are you on your phone?
If you're a distracted driver, chances are they will be too. What kind of driver are you raising? Funded by the Governor's Traffic Safety Committee.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Coach Saban here, and let me tell you, every second matters. Preparation is everything, and that's why I trust Kidde Smoke Alarms.
And as North America's #1 home fire safety brand, they're built to respond over 25% faster to smoke detection. Kidde helps protect what matters the most. Find it at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. #1 claim based on total household installations as of December 2023. 29% faster average smoke detection based on internal testing of smoldering wood fires for Kidde 9th edition versus leading competitor 8th edition products.
Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the weather first, before wearing face paint to the game.
Bro, your Go Cats is dripping into your nachos.
Oh, and now paint is in my eyes.
Interception! Did you see that?
No!
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first and see what you could save. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Potential savings vary, including based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Time. It's brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time, it's Tully time. 6:30 p.m. St. John's, ranked 5th in preseason polls, hosts Quinnipiac at Carnesecca Arena. Coverage begins at 6:15 p.m. on the ESPN New York app. By the way, ESPN New York, the new home of St. John's basketball on the radio. We're very happy about that. 7 p.m., the Nets host the Timberwolves at Barclays Center, and that game can be seen on the Yes Network at 7:30. The Knicks host the Wizards at Madison Square Garden. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. right here on 880 ESPN. A lot of stuff. Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, triple cask matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew. Try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. We will get to what I thought was a phenomenal World Series. We'll do that in the 2 o'clock hour. We're talking Giants now, their loss. The Jets had a bye, so they will come back and play Cleveland this week. And Aaron Glenn met with the media, refuses to name a quarterback. So he's just playing games. If he does start Tyrod Taylor, then he's lost his mind. I think this is just games trying to, have the opposition plan for 2 quarterbacks, whatever the case may be. He would be mindless if he started Taylor over Justin Fields after the game that Fields had before the bye. So, again, just game playing. And I've become more and more convinced And this is probably playing right into what they want to do. Why do we even talk to coaches and managers? Their job is not to tell us what's really going on. It's not. Their job is to obfuscate. Their job is to lead us down the wrong road. They're not telling us the truth. They're not. And we waste our time and we embarrass ourselves asking. So the Monday, after you just had a whole week to ruminate on who your starting quarterback's going to be and you're still not naming one, okay, I'll play along. If you don't know who your starting quarterback is on Monday after a week off, then you're not a good coach. So obviously he does know who his quarterback's going to be, and he's just playing silly little parlor games. It's a joke. Let's just enjoy it. Let's just enjoy the spectacle in front of us. In all the sports, why talk to the manager or the coach? They're not telling the truth. Their job is not to tell the truth. Their job is to protect their team. And another thing, with gambling so much in the forefront now and people, having information they shouldn't have, isn't this playing right into the hands of that? So within the Jet building, they know who the starting quarterback's going to be. So what if that gets out to somebody who shouldn't have that information? What are you doing, Aaron? You really think Cleveland's going to be really just completely shot down if they don't know who the starting quarterback of the Jets is going to be? Oh, goodness, you're really overly impressed with yourself. It's not like you're choosing between Steve Young and Joe Montana. You're choosing between Fields and Taylor. Neither one of them are going to Canton. Let's go to Phil in Brooklyn. Phil.
Hey, Mike, wins or losses matter to me because they haven't been good since they won a Super Bowl in 2012. So I don't know how wins or losses doesn't matter. And I don't know how anyone could justify to bringing back Daboll after losing. Are they going to lose every game the rest of the year? You cannot justify that. Not you, but the collective you. Well, that.
No, I think he is systematically, Phil, losing his job. And I'm not saying I'm for that at all. Because I think there's things that are really good about him, really smart about him, really stout about him as a coach. But I think he's lost the team. After that horrendous fourth quarter, they're not the same. They were competitive. The way they played for the first three quarters, what they did against Philadelphia, even what they did against Dallas. Once you input Dart into the equation, because Dallas was Russell Wilson's game, once you input Dart into the equation, you say to yourself, you know what? They could beat anybody on any given day. Now, when you watch what they're doing and how they're playing, do you think they could beat anybody on any given day the way they played yesterday, the way they played in the fourth quarter against Denver? That's what worries me. That is the big reflection on a coach. He has not kept the team together. They have not played nearly as well as they did before that fourth quarter. So we wondered, would that fourth quarter have staying power? Would it affect them moving forward? And just from the looks of it, it certainly did. They got their backsides kicked against Philadelphia, and I guess they should. Philadelphia's a better team. But only 17 days earlier, you kicked their butts. So same team, 17 days later, they made adjustments, and your team fell off a cliff because it lost a heartbreaker in Denver. That is on the coaches. And the lack of talent is clearly on the front office. 4 years of drafts. And for the first three drafts before this past one, you didn't even try to get a quarterback. You didn't even try. It's not like you moved heaven and earth. The one thing that you did try, you wanted Drake May. So you looked at that and said, this guy's going to be good. And New England said, take a walk. We lost enough that we want Drake May. That was the only attempt. So it's not like you wasted picks and moved up to get your quarterback. No, you didn't do that. So you could have stockpiled other talent, and you didn't. The only time you picked the quarterback was this year. And it actually has worked out. But you invested money in Daniel Jones. You allowed him to fool you because he wasn't going to win here. Although he's showing now in Indianapolis that he could be a good quarterback if healthy and with a really smart offensive mind like Shane Steichen. And the same thing with Sam Darnold. You see Sam Darnold's first half yesterday? Perfect. He didn't miss a pass. There must be something in the water at the Meadowlands. There must be. Zach Wilson can't even become the number 2 quarterback in Miami. He's so bad. And Daniel Jones was released by the Giants, and now look at him. There's no excuse for the lack of talent on this roster. There's no excuse. And I get injuries, but the second level of talent should be better than this. Go to Jose in Connecticut. Jose, talk to me.
Hey, Michael. How you doing, sir?
I'm good.
Listen, I was one of the guys. I was really hoping for Daboll to do something this year, man. I finally had enough. It's time for him to go. I wouldn't even be mad if they got rid of him before the season ended. It's getting ridiculous. And Shane, I'm 50-50 on Shane because I do feel like his drafts have gotten better the last couple of years, and he did come in with a terrible. His cap situation here was a joke, right? So I'm okay. I'm 50-50 on Shane. I wouldn't cry if he goes, but I did also want to ask you who you thought would be a good replacement. I saw people talking about Gruden. I don't want him here, man. I don't like what he did his last stop in with the Raiders. So I just want your thoughts on that.
Well, you know, I've heard Gruden a lot too, and I shake my head. First of all, no NFL team is going to hire him. He's suing the NFL. I've never seen a reputation that's been burnished more by his involvement with Barstool Sports. So you're seeing his personality and all that. That doesn't mean that you want him to lead your team. And what NFL team is going to hire a guy who's suing the league? So if you're suing the league, you're suing the team that's hiring you. And those emails do exist, everybody. It's the same people, it seems, that they want Gruden that also want Trevor Bauer signed. And Trevor Bauer, no one has sniffed Trevor Bauer, so there must be more information out there that we don't even know. Or the information that's out there is so odious that no team wants to get involved. And with John Gruden, has anybody even bitten? Has anybody even taken a sniff since he was let go after those emails were revealed? Now, he might have a point. Why were those emails released? And that's what he's fighting. But just because he's fighting why they were released, my question would be, why did you say that stuff? Why did you write that stuff? Why do you feel that way? So I'd be very, very interested to see the team that's taking a chance on John Gruden. Again, great image rehabilitation by working with Barstool, showing his personality, his outgoing personality, his effervescence about life. I get it. But the stuff that got him fired has not disappeared, has not gone away. It happened. It happened. Let's go to Ed in Northport. Ed.
Hey, Mike. First time, long time. How you doing?
Welcome aboard, man.
Thank you so much. So I am a Jet fan, full disclosure, but I want to mention something about the Giants search. What about maybe reuniting Jackson Dart? Well, I searched that potentially could be happening. What about reuniting Jackson Dart with Lane Kiffin, or maybe making him an associate head coach under someone like Belichick for a year or two? Something crazy like that. What's your thoughts on that? And then I know you're not a big hockey fan, but Matthew Schaefer of the Islanders, mega star in the making. If you haven't taken a look, he's 18 and he's already lighting it up. So thanks again. Let's go Islanders. Let's go Yankees.
I have you're right. I'm not a big hockey fan, but I have followed Schaefer a bit, and Schaefer is going to be on with Don Hahn and Rosenberg later on today on the show. So I was actually considering asking, Ray Deanham, my producer, let's try to get him, but I haven't done it because of the World Series and everything happening with football. So I'm glad that Don Hahn and Rosenberg are doing it. I've talked to people about him. They say he really has his act together for an 18-year-old. Really. Now, the Lane Kiffin stuff, interesting. I'm not sure. I'm not sure that the Giants would pay a coach what Lane Kiffin's going to make, either at Ole Miss or at one of the schools that's throwing money around like they're printing it. So, NFL is going to have to battle now colleges. How many NFL coaches are going to make $10 million a year? And I after what's happening in North Carolina, I don't know. The Bill Belichick train might have sailed or might have left the station. A boat sails, a train leaves the station. So I'm not sure anyone's clamoring to hire a 72-year-old guy, who comes with some baggage as well. But, I know the Giants are close with Belichick. The Mariners are close with Belichick, but I can't see going that route. And have Belichick with an associate head coach? Yeah, he doesn't seem like a guy that shares power that easily. 1-800-919-3776, The K Show. We are rolling until 3 right here on ESPN New York.
Hey, bro. Weirdest thing is happening at the game. This guy sitting next to me says, "You're our good luck charm. Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown. Now his entire family wants to buy me Bud Lights. I think I'm some kind of a football prophet. Talk soon. The team needs me.
Anything for Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
This is an ad by BetterHelp. Shorter days don't have to be so dismal. It's time to reach out and check in with those you care about, and to remind ourselves that we're not alone. As seasons change and days grow darker sooner, it can be a tough time for many. This November, BetterHelp's encouraging everyone to reach out, check in on friends, reconnect with loved ones, and remind the people in your life that you're there. BetterHelp does the initial matching work for you so you can focus on your therapy goals. Short questionnaire helps you identify your needs and preferences, and our 12-plus years of experience and industry-leading match fulfillment rate means we typically get it right the first time. If you aren't happy with your match, switch to a different therapist at any time from our tailored recommendations. This month, don't wait to reach out. Whether you're checking in on a friend or reaching out to a therapist yourself, BetterHelp makes it easier to take that first step. Our listeners get 10% off their first month. Just call pound 250 and say the keyword timeout. That's keyword timeout after calling pound 250.
Is college even worth it these days? At Empire State University, it actually is. They are SUNY's leading online university. Flexible, affordable, and built for real life. With more than 120 degree programs, you can study what matters most to you. And students agree. They're ranked #1 in student satisfaction among SUNY schools. Whether you are finishing what you started or starting fresh, your goals are within reach. See for yourself. Visit SUNYEmpire.edu before the next term begins.
For over 100 years, Slomin's has been your trusted partner in comfort. When it comes to home heating oil, we deliver more than just quality fuel. We deliver peace of mind. With price protection, automatic deliveries, 24/7 service, and up to 30 days to pay your invoice. Our dedicated team is just a call away, ensuring you stay warm and comfortable all winter long. Slomin's, New York and New Jersey's largest heating oil provider, proudly serving our community for generations. Give us a call today at 866-GET-HEAT or visit oil.slomins.com.
There he goes to the 20, 10, 5. That's a Jet touchdown. That's a Jet touchdown.
Jets fans, be there at MetLife Stadium to see the New York Jets take on the Cleveland Browns on Sunday, November 9th at 1 p.m., presented by Verizon. Don't miss your chance to experience the excitement of game day at MetLife Stadium and cheer on your Jets. Lock in your seats at nyjets.com/tickets and get ready to clear the runway.
Feeling stuck on your own 10-yard line in the career game? Maybe it's time to just go for IT. My Computer Career has the game plan to score a rewarding new IT career in months. Whether you're a rookie, a breakout career changer, or a military veteran ready to serve. Why spend years chasing a college degree when you can fast-track your future in IT starting now? Take your mark, get set, go for IT. Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Harry Douglas here. Fellas, it's time to step up your grooming game. Manscaped just leveled up with the Lawnmower 5 and the Chairman Plus, two powerhouses built for unmatched precision, comfort, and control. Whether you're cleaning up before a night out, preparing for a big meeting, or getting ready for a game day, Manscaped has the tools to help you look and feel your absolute best. These aren't just old school clippers. They're engineered for modern men who take pride in their daily routine. So upgrade your grooming gear and experience the difference. And now you can find Manscaped products at your local Walmart.
Fight fans, Bud Light and ESPN New York are sending you to UFC at Madison Square Garden. Tap the Bud Light tile on the ESPN New York app and enter for your chance to win a pair of tickets in the ESPN Suite. Catching the action alongside ESPN New York's Peter Rosenberg. Listen and enter through the Bud Light tile to score your shot at the ultimate fight night.
Bud Light is proud to be the official beer sponsor of UFC. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
YouTube TV customers can get the sports you love on ESPN back, including college football, college game day, Monday Night Football, NBA, college basketball, and more. Act now. Go to keepmynetworks.com to get ESPN back. I mentioned the Jayden Daniels injury. And if you missed it, the Commanders are getting blown out on Sunday Night Football. Seattle is a pretty good team. And so they're getting blown out. And so Dan Quinn gets questioned, why are you leaving your quarterback in a blowout? And that's why he got hurt. And you know what? I understand, I guess, why people are angry. And it's such a great second guess. Get your quarterback out of there. But you can get hurt on any play in football. It's like when people would criticize Tom Thibodeau why he's playing guys in a blowout. Because that's their job. They're supposed to play until they're not able to play anymore. Now, were they going to come back in the game? No. So an argument can be made. So I'm not saying it's totally illogical, but football in itself is illogical in that you're going to get hurt. And what I mentioned earlier about my fear with Jackson Dart, when you don't surround the star of your team, which is the quarterback, with talent to protect him or talent to give him places to go with the football, he's going to get hurt. He's going to get hurt. So let's say Jackson Dart got hurt when they were down by 17. Would you have questioned Brian Daboll for having Jackson Dart out there? They had no chance to win. None. So now you're going to jump on Dan Quinn because he had him out there? Why ever play anybody? You can get hurt any single moment in a football game. Any moment. Again, it's an easy layup. It's a second guess. I'm not going to pile on to Dan Quinn there. It's unfortunate. Thank goodness it's his left elbow, not his right. I mean, you don't even want to see the replay. It's so hideous. But we get those kind of replays all the time in football. I mean, directors and producers in the truck have to decide, do we show that again? It's going to make people throw up. They didn't show the Scadaboo injury over again. That's what football is. It's a violent, really vicious sport. So anytime you take the field, well, and your argument back is going to be, well, but they couldn't win. Still, they scored a touchdown, right? Or they're trying to score a touchdown there. That carries into the next game too. I just don't understand what Dan Quinn did that was so wrong. So what you're saying then, and it's true, let's take this quarterback out. Let's put Mariota in because he doesn't count. If he gets hurt, so what? Jayden Daniels healthy? He's supposed to play. And you're supposed to put a team around him that's going to protect him. That's the deal. Those are the rules of engagement. ESPN New York is giving you the chance to experience UFC 322 at Madison Square Garden on November 15th. One grand prize winner and a guest will score tickets to the ESPN New York suite hosted by Peter Rosenberg. Enjoy the energy of the Garden, the comfort of a private suite, and world-class UFC action alongside one of New York's biggest sports personalities. To enter, find the contest tile on the ESPN New York app to submit your entry. It's brought to you by Bud Light, proud to be the official beer sponsor of UFC. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. Now, you can consume this show many ways. You can listen on 880 ESPN in New York, 880 AM. There's an FM contingent as well, 101.1. Just keep moving the dial because some electric cars don't have AM. Or you could do it with the ESPN New York app. So easy. Wherever you are, just hit the app and boom, whatever's on the air on ESPN New York, you're going to hear. Now, you can also, when you're on the app, just click on the ESPN New York YouTube tile and subscribe. It's free, not a dime out of your pocket, not even that much time out of your pocket, and then you can watch the show. So if you're one of those people that are watching the show right now, you know that I've made a seismic decision. And this one's contrary to everything that everybody has been telling me. So since the Yankee season ended, I ended up growing a beard. So many people, I'd say the vast majority of people, liked it. Even my wife, out of nowhere, said, wow, I really like the way that looks. But sometimes you have to be true to yourself. And I looked in the mirror, and I don't like it. Listen, I know I'm not young, but I'm not as old as I looked in that mirror with that big gray beard coming in. So today when I woke up, I said, you know what? I'm shaving this. It's a monstrosity. I don't want to look that old. I am not that. I don't feel that old. It's got to go. So I'm sorry if I disappointed all the people on social media and on our YouTube channel that have been saying that they like the beard. I think we had a poll on Friday where over 60% say they like the beard. I had to get rid of it for my own self-esteem. Again, I'm no oil painting. If anything, I tend to be more hideous than good looking, but I can't look in the mirror and see that gray beard and say, yeah, that's how I feel. So I did shave it. And I'm wondering what you're thinking. Maybe they'll put up another poll. Does he look younger? Does he look different? Yeah, I do look different. I actually look like myself. With that big gray beard, I did not look like myself. I look like somebody else, and it's somebody I didn't like. Maybe I should talk to Peter and get his therapist's number because I thought it was awful. Now, Tom Bauer, who runs the board for the show, Tom, you're disappointed in me, aren't you? You like the beard.
I'm very disappointed. I thought the beard gave you some spunk. It gave you some life.
So you don't think I have spunk in life now?
No, I think you do. I just think the beard was a nice change of pace.
It was a change of pace, but still, if I think I have enough fastball, I don't have to keep throwing changeups. Let's bring in Ray Deanahan, our producer, because he's, if anything, he is brutally honest about everything. Ray, your thoughts?
When it was scruff, it was good. As it grew out, you made the right call.
Really? So you like the scruff aspect. So I could bring the scruff back in a matter of like 5 days.
Yeah, the scruff, it had some color to it, the scruff.
Right. But the beard had no color to it. It was totally white.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
Thank you. Make me feel better about myself and my decision. Because I had a sleepless night thinking, should I get rid of this? Should I not? And I woke up, I got to get rid of it. To me, it looks awful. And I thank all the people that liked it. You know, I had a couple pictures up on social media. I love the beard. I love the fact that the Yankees don't have a beard policy. Well, I mean, Yankee players, even before the beard policy was lifted, they did grow beards during the winter. But I couldn't deal with it. I just didn't like I didn't like the man in the mirror. And I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. And I'm thinking of the rest of the song, but the words are not coming to me. 1-800-919-3776. Let's talk World Series in just a moment. It was a dandy. It really was. I didn't have a dog in the fight, and I watched every inning of every game. And it wasn't like it was work. I was enjoying it. It was great entertainment. We'll talk about that in just a moment, right here on the K Show Without a Beard until 3 on ESPN New York.
Listen up.
Ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in New Jersey. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
Looking for the best internet deal? It's just a fast phone call away. Only Optimum Fiber Internet delivers the fastest and most reliable fiber internet starting at just $25 a month. That's right. Lightning fast fiber internet at a price that won't slow you down. Call 888-4OPTIMUM today to lock in your offer in just a few minutes and see how you can also get the Disney Plus Hulu bundle and an unlimited mobile line on us. Don't take slow for an answer. Call 888-4OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com today. Terms apply.
880 ESPN, WHSQ, and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. A Good Karma Brands radio station.
If you've been injured on a construction site, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique labor laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling construction accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for hardworking New Yorkers. From scaffold accidents to slip and falls and equipment failures, they've got your back. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS. That's right, 718-WORKERS, because your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
Did you know women account for 2/3 of all Americans living with Alzheimer's and 2/3 of all Alzheimer's family caregivers? Join the Alzheimer's Foundation of America at its Women Empowerment Forum on November 5th in Amityville to learn practical ways women can reduce their risk for Alzheimer's and enhance quality of life for themselves and their loved ones living with Alzheimer's. For more information or to register, visit alzfdn.org or call 866-232-8484.
Rich Eisen here for Sonos, the speakers that bring every game to life in my own house. With studio quality sound, Sonos makes you feel like you're right there in the stadium. Whether you're cheering on your team, binging your favorite show, or listening to the hottest songs, Sonos fills every room with incredible sound. Setup is easy. Just plug in, open the Sonos app, and you're ready to go. Want stadium quality sound at home just like me? Because I love Sonos. You will too. Explore soundbars, speakers, and more at Sonos.com. Sonos. They look as good as they sound.
With Progressive Customer Service, there are lots of ways to connect with us, so you never have to miss a second of your favorite sport. Because you'd much rather watch a ball go through a net 124 times in 48 minutes when you don't really have to pay attention until the last two, and then somehow those 2 minutes will take an hour. You don't want to miss all that. Luckily, you can chat with Progressive on our app, online, or over the phone without missing a single one of those times the ball goes through the metal circle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Welcome back to the show. Talking about the Giants' disappointing performance against the 49ers. Did that for the first hour. Now let's shift to the World Series, which ended on Sunday morning. And before we do that, it's being reported first by John Heyman of the Post that Cody Bellinger has opted out of his contract, which was expected. And so he had $25 million due in the final year of that deal, looking for a multi-year contract. So he opted out, which is the thing most expected him to do. And he said he was going to do it too. But he did it in a respectable way while others did not. Edwin Diaz also, according to Ken Rosenthal, has opted out of the final year of his contract with the Mets. And he did it in a respectable way as well, unlike what Soto did and what Alonso did right after the season was over. I thought that was a little much. And, even a guy that I like a lot, Garrett Cole did it after a World Series loss by the Astros. He took off an Astro cap and, he was a free agent from that moment on. Soto lost the World Series to the Yankees. Said, the Yankees didn't have any advantage. Alonso, they didn't even get into the playoffs. And Alonso on that day said, I'm going to opt out. Again, don't want to get into that, but I think the Mets have a tougher decision on Diaz than the Yankees do going after Bellinger. Diaz is one of the top closers in the game, but you want to give him a 4-year contract at more than $20 million a year with how volatile the closer role is, where a guy could have a great year and a bad year, a great year and a bad year. I think they'd like to keep him, but am I giving him another 5-year, $100 million contract? I'm not sure I do. But the Mets, their bullpen's a mess. So you're almost forced to bring him back, but is that the wise move? And you wonder, is that what David Stearns would want to do? So we'll get this information coming out slowly, drip by drip, before we have to make big decisions. 5 days after the World Series, stuff like that. So they are going to opt out, and that was expected by both of them. All right, so the World Series ends on Sunday morning, and it was one of the most entertaining World Series that I have seen in a long time. I've always said that the greatest World Series that I ever saw was 2001. Because if you can get one forever game in a World Series, it makes it memorable. 2, it's amazing. 3, it's unbelievable. And that's what happened in 2001. The Brocious home run, the Tino home run, the Mr. November, Mariano blowing the save in Game 7. Those are forever games that will be remembered for all time. But you had a lot of those. You had those sorts of games in this World Series. The 18-inning game, double up to lose the game in the ninth inning in Game 6 for the Blue Jays, and then an extra inning game again in Game 7. A 1-out home run by a guy that is not a home run hitter, and then a home run by Will Smith in the 11th inning, and then they had a chance again, first and third with one man out. All they needed was a fly ball to score Guerrero from third base. And instead, Alejandro Kirk, if I'm a Blue Jay fan, that's the guy I wanted up. He hits the ball off the end of the bat, broken bat, ground ball to Mookie Betts, and an inning-ending, series-ending double play. I mean, what a World Series. Now, I'm going to tell you, I felt for the Blue Jay fans, and I hate what social media has exposed in all of us. I really do. I mean, the vitriol toward Blue Jay fans. And the Yankee fans that are going after Blue Jay fans, they're arguing, well, you were so nasty after you beat the Yankees. That was your World Series, and you're playing New York in the clubhouse, and Vlad Guerrero goes, Yankees lose, you deserve. They won. They beat the Yankees. They had the right to make fun. What did they do wrong? And the Blue Jay fans, they haven't had a World Championship since '93. And this is a fan base that attacked me relentlessly after I said what I said in July. And I still wanted the Blue Jays to win. How could you not root for them the way they play? And how could you not feel for them? How devastated they were. I was talking to a lot of people in baseball, ex-players too, yesterday. And they were telling me, that's one you don't get over, ever. You'll never get over that. And you can't say, well, they'll be back again. Are they going to be back again? You know how hard it is to get back? You might not have Bichette back. Max Scherzer's 41 years old. Bassett is a free agent. The team, as you know it, the one that just got to the World Series, is not going to be the same. Springer's going to be a year older. So you don't know if you're going to get back. And to lose in that fashion. I'm watching that game, and they bring in Hoffman. And Hoffman's biggest worry to me, and he didn't do it in September, and he hasn't done it for most of the postseason, was his propensity to give up home runs. He's facing Rojas. He obviously doesn't want to let Rojas get on, because then that would bring up Ohtani as the go-ahead run. And he keeps throwing breaking balls, and I'm going, I'm watching with Jody and Charlie. I go, why does he keep throwing a slider? You can hang a slider. You can't hang a fastball. This guy's not going to hit a ball out. The only way he's going to hit a ball out is if you hang a slider. He hung a slider, and Rojas hits a home run to tie the game. Unbelievable. And then Yamamoto comes into play, and it's funny. The Dodgers used all 4 of their starters in that game. They started Ohtani. He didn't have much. He gave up that 3-run home run to Bichette. Glasnow. Snell, and then Yamamoto pitching on no day's rest, just like Randy Johnson did in 2001. He won Game 6, and then he came in and won Game 7 against the Yankees. What a performance by Yamamoto. I mean, there's no argument. He was the MVP. He won 3 games, a complete game, then 7 innings, and then he comes in relief with no rest. No rest. And the Blue Jays used 3 of their starters. The only one that didn't pitch was Gausman. And it was Bieber who gave up the home run to Will Smith. But the Blue Jays didn't lie down. They had a chance. They came back. The double opens up against Yamamoto. And Yamamoto didn't have his greatest stuff. And then a walk. First, they sacrificed bunt Guerrero over to third, which I didn't love. You don't give up outs there. You should be able to score a guy from second base 3 tries. Now you've eliminated 1 out, and now you have 2 tries to get him in from third, and only 1 to get him in on an out. Now, in their walk, first and third, you have Kirk up. You figure Kirk's going to get a ball in the air, but he didn't. Hits the ground ball. There's so many things to pick apart, so many things to look at. A lot of people are questioning IKF. Why didn't he have a big enough lead in the 9th inning when they had a chance to win the game? So many things there, right for the picking. But I feel for the Blue Jays. I thought they were great. And they deserve to be champions, just like the Dodgers deserve to be champions. That's the heartbreaking part of sports, is that somebody has to lose. Somebody had to lose that World Series. Somebody had to lose a World Series that they will never get over. They'll be on their deathbed, and they'll be thinking about that World Series. But one thing stood out for me, and so many things are memorable about that World Series. I have never been anybody who gives so much love to Dave Roberts, because I know that the Dodgers are a heavily analytic team, and a lot of it is scripted, and it's handed down from up high from Andrew Friedman and his really smart front office. But I thought that Dave Roberts didn't have a good World Series. Dave Roberts had a great World Series. He made bold, decisive moves, Andy Pages is his everyday center fielder. And he couldn't get out of his own way in the postseason. And you know what? He benched him. And he had Rojas play second base in Game 6 and second base in Game 7. He made great defensive plays in Game 6. He saved the game with that to get IKF with the infield in Game 7. Then he hits the home run. A lot of teams wouldn't do that, no matter how bad their starter is struggling. Hey, the Yankees didn't do it with Volpe. They never benched him against the Blue Jays. He couldn't hit. All he kept doing was striking out. They never said, well, let's make a change here. They didn't. Teams are reluctant to do that. Dave Roberts did. And then Dave Roberts brings in Pages for defense at just the right time, and he has the fly ball catch running into Teoscar Hernandez on Barger. That would have ended the World Series. That brought Yamamoto to his knees. He shuffled the lineup. He dropped Mookie Betts from second to third and then fourth. I thought he was brilliant, the way he employed his pitchers. Was just the right feel. That bullpen was a mess, and somehow he got something out of it all the time. Do you know that in all the extra innings that they played in this series, I believe there were 11 extra innings, the Blue Jays didn't score a run because of the way Dave Roberts manipulated his bullpen. Another aspect that we have to talk about with the world. See, money didn't play a part in this. Really, listen, there's nothing wrong with using money. If you have the money and you want to spend it, good for you. Good for the Dodgers. But the 4 starters they used, that's over $1 billion of contracts that you used. So it's not like money didn't play a role in this. It played a role. I mean, you're paying Yamamoto $325 million over 12 years. Ohtani's getting $700 million over 10 years. Snell's got a truckload of money. Glasnow a truckload of money. So don't say money didn't play a role. And it has nothing negative about the Dodgers at all. But to just erase that, well, look at the guys that contributed. Hernandez, Kike Hernandez, and Rojas. Yeah, okay, those guys don't make a lot of money. But the heartbeat of the team was the starting pitching in this World Series, and they make a lot of money. And they perform the way they're supposed to perform. But Roberts was bold, he was decisive, and did a great job. And if you're a Yankee fan, did your heart not break for Don Mattingly? I thought it was such a beautiful moment. I don't know if you guys saw this. Mattingly was just sitting there on the bench. He stayed there watching the Dodgers celebrate on the field at Rogers Center, just staring. And Bo Bichette came up behind him and hugged him. And then said, let's go. And then Don finally got up and walked away. All these years of being a baseball player, a coach, a manager, and he was that close to winning his first ring, and it got taken away. It's like the baseball gods have something against Donald Arthur Mattingly. But all you Yankee fans that are hating on the Blue Jays and feeling good that they're suffering, get real, man. Get real. Like your fan base doesn't do the same thing. Every fan base does that. Oh, you won your World Series and you beat the Yankees. Of course they felt like that. The Yankees are a big impediment to get over. The Yankees are favored in that series. And to the victors go the spoils. You like the fact that they're suffering like that? I know they're an insufferable fan base at times. Believe me, I've been at the other side of it. And still I wanted them to win. Because maybe it could have changed baseball for the better. Maybe if a team like that won a championship, then we wouldn't be looking at whale and bail guys all the time, striking out all the time. Maybe you're looking at contact guys, good defense and stuff like that. But the rejoicing in other people's pain, is that what fandoms come down to? Weird. Really weird. And I'm talking from experience, everybody. If you listen to this show, you know how I was jumped. Up until after Game 5, I kept hearing the run differential stuff. Kept hearing it. I didn't care. Let them have fun with what I said. And the funny part is what I said, it didn't turn out because they scored more runs than the Dodgers in the World Series. So they had the run differential and they ended up losing. The baseball gods wanted the Dodgers to win. And now they're the first back-to-back champions since the Yankees. 1-800-919-3776. Let's go to Frank in New Rochelle. Frank.
Hey, Mike, how are you? I echo what you're saying about Yamamoto. Roberts and the feel for Manley, and also any Yankee fan who's not happy, disappointed for the Blue Jays. They shouldn't be killing the Blue Jays. They had a great year, and they just fell a little short. The one point I'd like to make, you mentioned it when you were talking about the series, Carlos Feebles, who I have to look up. He's the third base coach of the Toronto Blue Jays, and IKF on that third base lead. A guy at work earlier just told me about it and showed me the video of where he was standing when the ball was hit. It's kind of a little bit embarrassing, to be honest with you. I mean, he's so close to second. This kid's a colleague, is a high school coach, and he says we tell the kids to go as far down the line as third base is to the third baseman. And when you look on the video, the third baseman is a good distance away. And if he's just a couple of more steps down the line, I just don't understand how that coach, and IKF's a veteran guy who knows the deal. It's not like the first time he's been there. I would be, I don't know, that would be heartbreaking to me of all the things that happen in Toronto. If he's 2 or 3 steps down the line, he beats the throw and they're World Series champs. So maybe you could look at the video and see. He showed me on his phone, and it looked like I couldn't believe how close he was to third when the pitch was being made. So, and Rojas, of course, made a great play.
I definitely.
So the World Series is one of the best World Series that I've seen.
Yeah, it was
like an 0-1. The 0-1, I'm a Yankee fan. The 0-1 was heartbreaking, but it was a great series.
I've looked at the play, Frank, and Whit Merrifield on social media said that IKF did the exact right thing. Now, they got burned in Game 6 because they got doubled up on the last play. And what you want to do is you want to stay close enough to the bag that if it's a line drive to third base that you don't get doubled up. So if you also look at all the leads in that situation that the Blue Jays had in the World Series, that was about the average lead that they had. That's what they told their runners to take that lead because they didn't want him to get doubled up. Yeah, if he had another foot, he's in. That's how close the play was at home plate. We also almost had the worst thing happen for baseball because it looked as if Will Smith's foot came off home plate, then it came back down. Imagine the out call, and then it's overturned, and that's how the World Series ends. That's the worst nightmare of anybody involved in baseball when it comes to replay. The worst nightmare, and it almost came to be. I just never thought that they would overturn it because I don't think it was so blatant that you would overturn it. But the foot did lift off the home plate. But since home plate's not lifted, you don't know if it came down in time before IKF's slide was there. But again, that's the lead that they've taken in the entire series. They want to go as far off third as they can and not get doubled up. And I think they got spooked by the Barger double play that ended Game 6. Let's go to Billy in the truck. Billy.
Hey, Mike. Always appreciate you taking the call.
You got it. Appreciate you making it.
Am I jealous of how that went down? That was quite the series. I was with my girl, and I didn't want to bore her having the game on, but it came down to the bottom of the 8th, and I was like, I gotta see how this ends. This is like a storybook.
Yep.
And my question is though, how do you think the Yankees would have had more of a chance against this iteration of the Dodgers team? I don't really think so, but do you think their better shot was last year or this year's against the Dodgers? I
think their better shot was last year. The Dodgers had no starting pitching. I don't think they would have done better than the Blue Jays. I think, with that pitching, the starting pitching that the Dodgers had and the amount of outs and the Yankee lineup that they showed against the Blue Jays, I'm being honest. I'm being as honest as I can be. I just don't think that they would have had a better chance than the Blue Jays. I think, you can't take anything away. The Blue Jays were great. They were great. They played great baseball. They got big hits, clutch hits. But it wasn't to be. The Rojas home run, really? Rojas hadn't had a home run since early September. He hadn't done anything all year. He's not a hitter. And you hang a slider. And that was the biggest fear that I had with Jeff Hoffman as a closer. He gives up home runs, and then it was heartbreaking what he said afterward. He was devastated. He said, "I cost everybody in this room a World Series ring." Imagine having that on your shoulders for the rest of your life. Now there is life after those things happen. Mariano blew the save in Game 7 in 2001 and came back and was just as great after that and had an unbelievable career. Will Jeff Hoffman have an opportunity to do that? I don't know. But imagine one man having to carry that with him for the rest of his life. Rest of his life. David on the east side. David.
Michael, that was the baseball game of the century, and I'm not exaggerating. Two reasons. One, are you familiar with the concept of the golden pitch?
Yes, something that could change win a World Series on one pitch or another. Each batter.
Yeah, so it's a pitch thrown. It's a pitch thrown that it is possible for either team to win the World Series on that pitch.
Right.
It's one of the rarest, most exciting moments in baseball. We saw it on Saturday night. We also saw it 2016, 2014, and 2001. But it's only happened like 7 times before that in baseball history. So one, that's exciting as it gets. Just so cool. And I know about this stat. Like being aware of it as it was happening was just so cool, knowing either team can win it. But number two, here's why this was even better than 2016, because I know that in 2016, the Cubs, Indians, so much more was at stake because of both teams being cursed. But there were 2 moments in this game where Blue Jays fans had reason to believe they had just won the World Series. The IKF slide at home, and when Andy Paz has crashed into Kike Hernandez. This Game 7 not only went extra innings, it was decided, it could have been decided by inches. You could have had a walk-off by inches. That is as good as baseball gets. And can you imagine if they walked it off?
Yeah, and you know what? It's funny. I didn't want the game to end, David. I wanted Guerrero to at least score on a sac fly, something like that, because I wanted more baseball. I wanted to see how far they would push Yamamoto. I wanted to see if Gosman was going to come in. It was baseball at its finest. I mean, baseball's such a wonderful game, and sometimes it takes hits, and sometimes it's self-inflicted hits. But to watch that game and to realize, what was at stake on every single pitch, and the excitement and the fan base riding on the ebb and flow of emotion, it was stupendous. It was stupendous. I don't know if any other sports give you that type of action. There aren't that many Game 7s, and there haven't been that many Super Bowls that ended like that Game 7. And when you saw all the people in sports chiming in, like LeBron James on social media, and Joel Embiid and Billie Jean King, people from Caitlin Clark, greatest baseball game she's ever seen. I mean, that when you can get other athletes to sympathize and to revel in the greatness of the performance of these people, it shows you how unbelievable it was. It was unbelievable. Let's go to Emily in L.A. Emily.
Hey, Michael. Thanks for taking my call.
Thanks for making it.
I've called in before. Yeah. I am a Yankee fan living in Los Angeles. Sorry, are you there?
Yeah, what happened?
Oh, sorry, I don't know. All right, Yankee fan living in Los Angeles, so it is a rough go. But my God, great series, great game. I was pulling for Toronto, too, because in my mind I was like, man, if you're going to knock us out, then go and win the damn thing. Mm-hmm. But number 2, I could not help but think, watching multiple postseason games, how much work the Yankees have to do. Especially in this series, I was like, I don't even know if we were close to playing like that. Both of these teams just basically refused to die. And it was really incredible to watch. And I kind of have not really felt like that watching the Yankees as of recently.
Even last year when they went to Game 5 of the World Series?
I mean, of course then. But, I mean, gentleman sweep, those first 3 games, it was terrifying. I was so lucky I got to go to Game 4, and I'll never forget it. Bucket list, But, again, I'm not really in the camp of, I know that we're spoiled and to expect to go to the series every year, but just watching the way that these teams play, I think we have a lot of work to do, and we have a lot of holes to fill because these teams aren't going anywhere.
Well, I mean, these teams are going to be different too, Emily, but I agree they have a lot of work to do. I mean, who's going to play first base? Are you going to platoon at third base? Who's going to be the shortstop with Volpe not starting the season? You're starting the year without Rodon, without Cole, and without Schmidt. So how are you filling out your by the way, congratulations to Max Fried, who won a Gold Glove over the weekend, his 4th Gold Glove. But, I mean, yeah, who's going to be your center fielder? Who's going to be your left fielder? Is Bellinger coming back? Is Grisham coming back? Yeah, there's a lot of work to be done. The 2026 iteration of the Yankees is going to be completely different than 2025. But remember, The team that took it to the 11th inning of Game 7 of the World Series, Yankees won the same amount of games as them. They're not as far off as you think. They're just not. I think we look at them through a different prism because they're our team. So you see all the warts. You look at the warts for every single pitch, every play over 162 games, and every postseason game. I get that. But, the Dodgers only won 93 games all year. They stumbled throughout the season, but they turned it on when they had to. They had a grittiness and a guttiness that would not let them die. Same thing with the Blue Jays. That's why it's such a great World Series. Neither team would give up. Neither team ever ceded anything to the other team. I don't know how you acquire that. You just have to have that. There's something to be said for being a champion. I think the Dodgers, their championship pedigree showed up. They wouldn't stop. They wouldn't give up. And they had Herculean performances. I mean, what Yamamoto did is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I mean, who pitches on no day's rest? I think there are a lot of teams in baseball, they baby their players, even in big games. For the Dodgers, it was, let's do it. I mean, it's not like they don't care if somebody gets hurt, but let's do it. When Yamamoto comes into Roberts and talks to Friedman and says, I can go tomorrow, you know what? You let him go. You don't protect him from himself. He wants to pitch, you let him pitch. I think there's too much babying. I really do. These are men. This is what they were raised to do. This is what every kid in every backyard dreamed about. 7th game of the World Series. You think he wants to sit there in the bullpen and not participate? That's why the Yankees and the Mets were moving heaven and earth to get Yamamoto. They saw that in him. And the Dodgers got him. And the Dodgers had him for another 10 years. Another 10 years. And he's still in his 20s. Pretty special. FanDuel Sportsbook app is your home for all your favorite NFL bets, from yards to touchdowns to who will win. With FanDuel, any play can be the play of the game. Tonight, FanDuel is giving all customers a 30% PBT. That's right. You can get in on the action with a 30% PBT tonight during the Cowboys-Cardinals game. So make FanDuel your go-to app for any snap. Just visit FanDuel.com/K to bet on the game. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. 21 plus and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Monday with Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. Can Brian Daboll's job be saved if the Giants don't win games?
Do you think that Brian Daboll, is this the right guy to take this kid to where we need to get him and the team around him? Because right now it doesn't feel like it.
The answer is unequivocally no. Do you know, the Giants are 5-21 now in their last 26 games.
All right, well, there you go.
And are the Knicks back on track? Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg today at 3 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
The Hess stock car races are loaded with lights, sounds, and a powerful racing motor. Only at HessToyTruck.com. Free shipping and batteries included.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. That's ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN.
Fight fans, Bud Light and ESPN New York are sending you to UFC at Madison Square Garden. Tap the Bud Light tile on the ESPN New York app and enter for your chance to win a pair of tickets in the ESPN suite. Catching the action alongside me, Peter Rosenberg. Through November 7th, listen and enter through the Bud Light tile to score your shot at the ultimate fight night. Bud Light is the official beer of UFC, so make your move now on the ESPN New York app. Must be 21 and over. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited. Rules on the ESPN New York app. Please enjoy Bud Light responsibly.
Serving contractors, builders, and homeowners in the tri-state area since 1987, Brooklyn Window & Door is New York City's largest stocking dealer of quality Andersen window and doors. The professionals at Brooklyn Window & Door will help solve any of your window replacement needs or applications. Visit Brooklyn Window & Door's award-winning showroom to see the complete Andersen product line, including the 400, 100, A&E series. Andersen, built, backed, and serviced like no other window.
Visit Brooklyn Window & Door at 185 30th Street in Brooklyn or call 718-WINDOWS.
For over 100 years, Slomin's has been your trusted partner in comfort. When it comes to home heating oil, we deliver more than just quality fuel. We deliver peace of mind. With price protection, automatic deliveries, 24/7 service, and up to 30 days to pay your invoice. Our dedicated team is just a call away, ensuring you stay warm and comfortable all winter long. Slomin's, New York and New Jersey's largest heating oil provider, proudly serving our community for generations. Give us a call today at 866-GET-HEAT or visit oil.slomins.com.
This is an ad by BetterHelp. Shorter days don't have to be so dismal. It's time to reach out and check in with those you care about, and to remind ourselves that we're not alone. As seasons change and days grow darker sooner, it can be a tough time for many. This November, BetterHelp's encouraging everyone to reach out, check in on friends, reconnect with loved ones, and remind the people in your life that you're there. BetterHelp does the initial matching work for you so you can focus on your therapy goals. Short questionnaire helps you identify your needs and preferences, and our 12-plus years of experience and industry-leading match fulfillment rate means we typically get it right the first time. If you aren't happy with your match, switch to a different therapist at any time from our tailored recommendations. This month, don't wait to reach out. Whether you're checking in on a friend or reaching out to a therapist yourself, BetterHelp makes it easier to take that first step. Our listeners get 10% off their first month. Just call pound 250 and say the keyword timeout. That's keyword timeout after calling pound 250.
Empower. Tim collects bobbleheads. A lot of bobbleheads. Baseball bobbleheads. Race car bobbleheads. Little chihuahua bobbleheads. He's got an entire room strictly for bobbleheads. Does he need them? No. Is his wife mad about it? A little. But Tim works with Empower, and he got good at money, so he can be a little bad. Ooh, horse bobblehead. Classy, Tim. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football. It's a pepper thing.
Hey, YouTube TV customers, get the sports you love on ESPN back, including college football, college game day, Monday Night Football, NBA, college basketball, and more. Act now. Go to keepmynetworks.com to get ESPN back. All right. Now, here's a legitimate question I want to throw out to all of you. I'm one of these people all the time. I criticize players that slide into first base. Now, the only reason that sliding into first base is a good thing is if the throw from the infielder to the first baseman is off to the home plate side, and that pulls the first baseman off, so he has to make a swipe tag. So if you're standing, the swipe tag is easier. But when you're trying to beat out a throw that's directly to the first baseman, it doesn't make sense to slide, because once you slide, then friction comes into play. It's got to slow you down, because if it sped you up, then everybody that runs a 100-yard dash in the Olympics would slide through the finish line. They don't. They run through the finish line. So my question to all of you, should IKF have run through home plate? You can't tell me he got there faster by sliding, right? If he ran through, does he beat it out? Does he beat the throw? I mean, by sliding, he was out by an eyelash. So should he have run through home plate? That's a legitimate question, because I don't think the lead was a big problem. Justin Turner, has played in World Series. He was on social media. He was explaining that IKF did the exact right thing. You cannot get doubled up there. You have to live to play another day and give another batter the chance to get you in. So he thought that the lead was appropriate. Whit Merrifield, who's a great base runner, a former All-Star, he said that the lead was appropriate, but nobody really has addressed should he have run through home plate. Again, when you slide, it has to slow you down. The slide is only good if you have to stop, like sliding into second base, because you can't go in standing up if you're trying to steal second base, because then you'd overrun the bag and get thrown out. Or if there's going to be a tag applied. So you want less body to give you place to apply the tag. I'm convinced that if IKF runs through home plate, the World Series is over and the Blue Jays are champions. Let's go to Adam in Rockland. Adam. Hello, Adam.
Hey, Michael. Thanks. Thanks for taking the call.
You got
Big
it.
fan, long time. I grew up idolizing Mattingly. I was a lefty, played first base, so he was like baseball royalty to me. I was, disappointed to not see the Yankees beat him, but at the same time, like I've seen Yankee championships in my life, so I was really rooting for him. As soon as that series was over, I was locked in for the Blue Jays. I watched every second of every game. I went to Game 2. I was fortunate enough to get tickets for that. So disappointed that he wasn't able to get that championship, but I tell you, it was every single game was fantastic. It was amazing baseball. I even found myself rooting for Guerrero. He reminded me of like Griffey as a kid, like the guy you love to hate. Like you hate him against it, but just watching the guy play was fantastic. Again, just super disappointed that Mattingly couldn't gotten that ring. They made it that far, but
I agree with you on all points, and I'll tell you what, Guerrero was unbelievable. I mean, after the Will Smith home run, right? For him to open up against Yamamoto, the bottom of the 11th, with a double down the left field line, it was not an easy pitch to keep your hands in. The baseball was so exquisitely excellent. It really was. Through all the series, too. Through all the series. I mean, what a great advertisement for this unbelievable game. The world was wild. I can't wait to see the final numbers for the ratings. But you would imagine Game 7 on a Saturday, not really up against anything but some college football, it had to get great numbers. It had to. So one of the games, the 18-inning game, combined with the Canadian ratings, had over 22 million people. I would say that this had to approach like 25, 26 when you combine it. What a great exposure for the game of baseball. You don't have to sell me on baseball. I love the sport. Now, one thing, I was talking about this on Friday, too, about, the intentional walks of Ohtani. And we all celebrate that Ohtani, is this unicorn, that he does things that nobody could do, starting pitcher, blah, blah. Well, they started him in Game 7 for one reason, because there's an Ohtani rule. They've changed the rules of baseball for Ohtani, right? Where he can start, get taken out of a game, then he remains in the game as a DH. Now, they should have started Gladnow in Game 7 and then used Ohtani in relief, but if they used Ohtani in relief and once he got taken out, then they lose him as the DH too. It's a stupid rule. Since you're going to change the rule for him, then what doesn't matter if he's a relief pitcher or not. Keep him in there as a hitter. It's such a dumb rule. But then, we're bending over backwards for the dude too. So he made the last out of an inning. And then you only have, a certain amount of time for a starting pitcher to get out there and warm up. And the inning where Bichette hit the 3-run home run, this was the third inning, they allowed Ohtani to take all these warm-up pitches. Well, listen, if you're going to do both, then do both. You shouldn't have more warm-up pitches than Max Scherzer did. All right, you're going to be a hitter, you're going to be a pitcher. Sorry, you have a certain amount of warm-ups, but the umpires do have the right to extend the amount of warm-ups that the guy has. But then, is he really a unicorn? We're shape-shifting things for him to succeed. If he made the last out of the inning, jog to the pitcher's mound, and take your 8 warm-ups. Doesn't mean that you get more time, but they have bent the rules for Ohtani. But then they'll bend some rules, but they won't bend others. So that's why Roberts started him in Game 7 on 3 days rest. Because if he had brought him in relief and then you take him out, you'd lose him as a batter. Why? You're changing the rules of the game for him, which is one of the reasons I think you should change the rules of the intentional walk. But you're going to stand firm on that one. Because throughout the history of baseball, when pitchers hit, they got knocked out of the game as a pitcher. You know what? They were done. And there were a lot of great hitting pitchers, like Rick Rhoden and things like that. Guys that could hit, CC Sabathia. But once they got knocked out of the game, their bat's out of the game. So you change that rule for Ohtani, but he can't come in as a relief pitcher and leave because then you lose his bat. And then you change the rules of him warming up. It's the discretion of the umpire. I've seen umpires tell a pitcher, no, you only took 6 warm-ups, but your time is up. You can't take the 2 extra ones. But Ohtani can. Yeah, that doesn't seem fair to me. That doesn't seem fair. Let's go to Joe in Western New York. Joe.
Hi, Michael. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
It was a great World Series. I loved everything. But I'm going to beg to differ with 2 great baseball players, Justin Turner and Whit Merrifield, that he did not have a big enough lead. The lead, as close to the third baseman as the third base, that's how far you should be off. And if he wasn't off that far, why didn't he the secondary lead, go back and look at how far he got off the base when he started running when the ball was hit. And you're right about he should have run through. Definitely did not slide. He should have run through. But he did not get a big enough lead, and he cost his team the World Series in my mind.
First of all, he didn't because he did exactly what the coach told him to do. And Justin Turner also brings up a good point. You don't just take the lead commensurate to where the third baseman's off the bag. You can get doubled up with a line drive to short, too. So if you're far enough off third base, and then it's a hard screaming line drive to shortstop, all the third baseman has to do is Muncy gets over there and receives the throw. So, listen, I love everybody having an opinion on it. I think it's great. But I do find it somewhat curious that, those of us that have played the game to only a certain level, me at a very, little league level, that we would argue with Whit Merrifield, who was a great base runner, and Justin Turner, who's a winning ball player. They've been there. They've done that. They know exactly the amount that you should lead. And if you look at the leads that the Blue Jays took, that's the way they play. They don't want to get doubled up at third base. So, yeah, we could all disagree and say that the lead wasn't big enough, but professional ball players, that's how they make their living. They're all saying that the lead was appropriate, that was the only lead that you should take. I mean, are we at least the caller who was nice said, I respectfully disagree. Okay, you could disagree, but if you're going to ask me, do I listen to Bill from Stanford, or do I listen to Whit Merrifield? And Bill played, some semi-pro ball, and Whit Merrifield's an all-star. I'm going to listen to Whit Merrifield. He doesn't have a dog in the fight. He's not trying to protect IKF or the Blue Jays. That's the appropriate lead. The bigger argument is, should he have run through the bag? And I think that answer is easy. Yeah, he should have run through the bag. We'll come back. Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg coming up. We still have more to do. Want to talk to you even more until 3 o'clock right here on ESPN New York.
There he goes to the 20, 10, 5. That's a Jet touchdown. That's a Jet touchdown.
Jets fans, be there at MetLife Stadium to see the New York Jets take on the Cleveland Browns on Sunday, November 9th at 1 p.m., presented by Verizon. Don't miss your chance to experience the excitement of game day at MetLife Stadium and cheer on your Jets. Lock in your seats at nyjets.com/tickets and get ready to clear the runway.
If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique personal injury and workers' compensation laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling all types of accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for injured New Yorkers. From construction to car accidents and slips and falls, they've got you covered. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS, where your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
Looking for the best internet deal? It's just a fast phone call away. Only Optimum Fiber Internet delivers the fastest and most reliable fiber internet starting at just $25 a month. That's right, lightning fast fiber internet at a price that won't slow you down. Call 888-4-OPTIMUM today to lock in your offer in just a few minutes and see how you can also get the Disney Plus Hulu bundle and an unlimited mobile line on us. Don't take slow for an answer. Call 888-4-OPTIMUM or visit Optimum.com today. Terms apply.
Listen up, New York. It's football season, and you should be out there enjoying every play, every tailgate, every moment. But if you're dealing with neck pain, back pain, joint pain, or sciatica, even getting off the couch can feel like a challenge. That's where Dr. Jay Shaw at Sandwell Pain comes in. He's one of New Jersey's top pain specialists, Ivy League trained, double board certified, and dedicated to getting you back in the game. Here's the difference. No surgery, no scars, no long recovery, no pain medication. Just precise, non-surgical, image-guided procedures that get real results. Dr. Shaw treats everything from neck pain, back pain, migraines, nerve pain, and chronic joint pain. And he builds a custom game plan that's right for you. Same day or next day appointments are available with offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood. And yes, most major insurances are accepted. So don't let pain keep you on the sidelines this season. Go to SandwellPain.com to call, text, or book online. Relief is closer than you think, and it starts today.
Hey, it's Alan Hahn. Let me tell you about my friends at Bath Fitter. They remodeled the bath by my pool. They converted a tub into a shower. The result is amazing. Bath Fitter offers all types of custom bath renovations, including their unique PermaFit solution for a watertight fit. It's done in one day, easy to clean, and durable with no demo or mess, and it costs less than a standard replacement, plus a lifetime guarantee. Right now, you get no money down, no payments, or interest until 2027. So start designing your bath today at bathfitter.com. There's only one Bath Fitter.
Score a win this game day with Amazon Pickup, the MVP of package pickup. Need that new football jersey for the big matchup? With Amazon Pickup, you can collect your order from secure Amazon lockers or counters near you on your schedule. Whether you're running from work or home or straight to the tailgate, Amazon Pickup makes it easy and worry-free at no extra cost. Don't miss kickoff. Grab your gear and your packages when it works for you. Find your nearest Amazon Pickup location at amazon.com/pickupmvp. That's amazon.com/pickupmvp.
From kickoff to cash out, ESPN Bet has the tools you need to score more on game days. Bet smarter with stats at your fingertips. Get personalized parlays built just for you. And with your fantasy team synced right in the app, you can back your squad. Right now, new customers get $100 in bonus bets when you bet $10. Sign up with promo code USL to get started. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
You're standing inside a secret prison. It houses the Nazi high command.
I'm going to put Hermann Goering on trial.
Sony Pictures Classics presents Nuremberg, starring Academy Award winner Russell Crowe, Academy Award winner Rami Malek, and Academy Award nominee Michael Shannon.
Do you plead guilty or not guilty?
Nicht schuldig.
Order! Order!
Nuremberg opens only in theaters everywhere November 7th.
You live for this. The wins, the losses, the slam dunks, and the buzzer beaters. The dream that this is your team's year. Hope. It's what keeps you coming back. So you represent with anticipation and with pride. Because when everything's on the line, your support means everything. That's why the NBA Store is here to support you. Check out the largest selection of official NBA gear at NBAstore.com. A Fanatics experience.
All right, so we do have some ratings information, and I think this is, I mean, it's no secret. I love baseball, all right? So on Fox, World Series Game 7 peaked with 31,543,000 viewers. That was from 11:30 to 11:45. Now you can imagine what the number was in Canada. So let's give them 10 million, 12 million. Then we're talking about 43, 44 million people. The only thing that exceeds that is the Super Bowl. The only thing. Blows away any NBA final. Any game set. There's no NBA final that has 31,543 without one of the teams being represented in that rating, because the Blue Jays are not a team that plays in the country, so they don't have a fan base that's in America. They have a fan base that's in Canada that watches TSN. So the average viewer for Game 7 across Fox, Fox Deportes, and Fox Sports streaming services, 25,984,000 viewers. Baseball, baby. Baseball. Love it. Knicks beat the Bulls 128-116. They actually played well. Brunson took over, 31 points. They had lost 3 games in a row. They had not lost 4 games in a row last year under Thibodeau. So all 3 games are on the road. This one back at the Garden, they played well. And the Nets continue to lose. They lost to the Sixers 129-105. And the Nets are 0-6. 0-6. 1-800-919-3776. Let's go to John in Bloomfield. John.
Hey, Michael. How are you?
Good, John. How are you?
I'm doing good. Lifelong Yankee fan. And, the thing is that I'm not every pitch, not every inning. So I don't get to know the other teams really till they start getting on the national broadcast, the Division Series or World Series. Right. And something dawned on me you don't hear people talking a lot about is when someone's up to bat, this was the number one prospect. This one came up through the farm system. This one, and I was wondering what you think about the Yankees maybe learning a little bit about these names that you hear over and over again, always associated with winning teams and teams that end up in divisional series and World Series, that it's about a certain kind of attitude they have, a certain way about them, and not necessarily that they were the best and the top draft pick or they came up through the farm system. I mean, I love that the Yankees develop their young players, and you've talked a lot about them holding on to players instead of letting them go and trading them. But there's got to be something to when you start seeing these other teams that you don't see all year, and you're recognizing all these names that are always on competitive teams and championship teams. So I'm just wondering what you think about that.
Well, I mean, the Yankees for years tried to get Tommy Edman. They also tried to, they looked into Kike Hernandez when he was a free agent. They realized these good players out there. But, they've got people that are more than homegrown players. Bellinger's not a homegrown player. Grisham's not a homegrown player. Jazz Chisholm's not a homegrown player. Goldschmidt, McMahon. So, I mean, yeah, they mix and match, and but they actually have done well developing pitchers of late. Cam Schlittler is a pitcher they develop. So I don't exactly know where you're going with that. I mean, yeah, there are players that are on winning teams because the Dodgers are always there, and the Blue Jays last year finished last. They finished last in the American League East. And they had a wonderful season this year. So I mean, suddenly those players are put on spotlight, and you love a guy like Ernie Clement. Ernie Clement's a stud. You'd want him on your team, but I'm sure there are a lot of teams that want Ben Rice. So I don't know exactly what they learned from that. They know the value of Tommy Edman. They tried to get him from St. Louis. They weren't able to. Let's go to Chris in Port Jefferson. Chris.
Hey, good afternoon, Michael. Thank you for taking my call. I appreciate it.
You got it.
2 quick points, not too long. I'm a high school baseball coach for 30 years, and I teach my kids to run right through home plate anytime there's not a tag play or even close to that, and I totally agree with what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
And I also want to piggyback on what you said about the excitement of baseball. Obviously, I love baseball just as much as you do. I had 15 teenagers over the house for Game 7.
Oh, they must have loved it.
Met and Yankee fans.
Uh-huh.
And it was so exciting. Like, they were into every pitch. They were into every play. And, baseball is bigger than people think. And that's why I just want to agree with you on that one. The look on their faces when the game ended was amazing. They were just so into it.
See, I love what you said, Chris. I really do. Because a lot of people, they want to portray baseball as dying. Baseball is far from dying. Baseball is thriving. The money that it generates, and the one thing that you can say about baseball, it's not a sport that supersedes the regional aspect. But regionally, it's very much alive. They get great ratings. They get great attendance. Baseball is a great sport that's still thriving. We can't compare everything to football. Football is an outlier. Nobody can even explain why football is as is as popular as it is, and the Super Bowl has over 100 million viewers. It's a global sport. I get it. But if you combine the ratings in Canada, the unbelievable ratings on Fox, how about the ratings they had in Japan when the games were played essentially in the morning? Baseball's approaching probably 60, 70 million people that watched each game. Baseball's not dying, people. Don't get caught up in that nonsense. It's just got a different feel to it than football. It gets higher ratings than basketball, than hockey, than soccer in this country. I'm telling you, baseball is thriving, but just in a different way. And anything compared to football, anything is going to look like it's second rate. Baseball's not second rate. It's doing great. And the one thing that I hope that baseball learned from this, they don't need a lockout in 2027. Keep the momentum going. Figure out a way without locking out and losing a year, because when you lose a year, it's going to take many more years to build it back up. Baseball's at a flashpoint right now. A series like that highlights how great the game could be, highlights individual talents, and it is like a soap opera that builds up over a 7-game series where you get to know everybody in the backstories. It's wonderful for the game. And I'm glad that people came around to appreciate it, because when you watch that World Series, you realize what a wonderful game it is and what a wonderful World Series it was. Coming up, Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. You want to stay tuned for that. Can't wait to talk to you tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Another 2 hours. Bye like that. In the words of Billy Joel, life is a series of hellos and goodbyes. I'm afraid it's time for a goodbye again. See everybody. Have a great evening, and talk to you tomorrow.
This is an ad by BetterHelp. Shorter days don't have to be so dismal. It's time to reach out and check in with those you care about, and to remind ourselves that we're not alone. As seasons change and days